Welcome to another video for WinBidPro version 16 by GDS Estimating. In this one I'd like to talk about the layer settings window that we have, and that would be under your settings menu and then layer settings. So this opens up a little panel on the side, and it has pretty much everything to do with what's going on the drawing window in terms of colors, dimensions, labels, all that kind of stuff. So you'll notice that this drawing here has the glass sizes shown, it has the glass position label shown, it has all kinds of things. It has the magenta color for doors and the yellow for transom stop and all those kinds of things. So all these different colors, like the frame color is white. If this were a curtain wall system, the face covers would be green, and pressure plates can be yellow, things like that. So all these things can be set. They can also be made visible and invisible. Like if I want the frame white lines to disappear, I can click the invisible icon, and then I can bring them back by clicking visible. So the glass lights, if I don't want those to show, I can hide those, and that's basically, it makes it easy to see that the fill pattern, when I have those cross hatches or the diagonal lines, it's easy to see that when that's on and off. So all these different things I can turn on and off, and it's going to remember those settings until you go back and change them. So assigned lights can have different colors than unassigned. And I can have the size, even the color of the text for the glass sizes I can change. So all these different types of things. So notice the X's for each of these items. I can exclude those from the export. So when this exports to DWG, if I don't want those things included, I can turn those off. Now, here's a neat thing. I can actually save a configuration. So if I have all these things set the way I want, and I want to name that setting for something like export only or something, I can hit the plus sign up here, and I can change this particular version of all these settings to whatever name I want it to be. So now I've created that, and I can click save. Now I've got a couple different options. I've got, say, back member, I've got certain things turned on and off. And if I go back to default, it's got the way it was before. So it's really helpful if you want your drawing to look a certain way for different situations. So once you've got things set the way you like, go ahead and make a configuration and name it, and then save that, and you can pick it later anytime you want. So that includes things like whether you want the location label to show on the drawing if glass is not assigned. So you'll notice if I remove glass from the elevation, then I've got nothing there as far as labels or anything. So if I wanted the location labels turned on even when there's no glass, I can even do that. So a lot of flexibility and power in these different kind of drawing visual things that we give you in this layer settings window. So dimensions are another thing. We've got frame dimensions. Everything's kind of on right now, I guess, except for door jambs. So if we turn door jamb dimension on, it's going to show that. So here's door jambs right here. And this is if I zoom in, this is a CAN system. So it's got a head receptor, and verticals are sitting inside that receptor. So that's something that's important to show that the door jambs are actually not full height of the opening. So you have the ability to go in and turn different dimensions on and off, and there's this whole list of them. And just kind of get familiar with this. And display text, that's for things like the frame, frame dimensions. So that lets you actually label some of those dimension lines. And then you can even customize the way your elevation name shows and things like that. But be careful, because if you put something in that the the program doesn't, they call it syntax, where it has to be the right kind of punctuation and parentheses and all that. If you change it to a certain way, it's not going to show up right in your description here. So try and be aware of things like code in parentheses. That's actually using the code from the program. So your elevation code is number 1. If you've renamed the code, it'll show you whatever you named it, but if you don't have it in parentheses here, it's not going to show it correctly on the screen. So there's things like that that kind of have to be done, correctly. So what do we have for miscellaneous? So elevation description, if I want to hide that, you'll notice that the whole thing goes away. And then if I want that back, so panel numbers, we've got our 2, 3, and 4 here. If you don't want your panel numbers to be on your export, let's say, then you can turn that off, and remember that you can go and save that configuration with those turned off. So a lot of functionality, a lot of different settings here, and the ability to save them for different configurations. So something that a lot of people aren't aware of, but it's something good to know about, because there's probably a time when you want to either change a color, the way the label looks, or whether it even shows up or not. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much.